Big news for GTA fans. Speculation is heating up around the ending of Grand Theft Auto 6, with many believing Jason might not make it out alive. Rumors suggest Jason could be an undercover cop, setting the stage for betrayal and intense conflict. The game's focus on trust hints at a dramatic climax where Jason and Lucia face their true loyalties. Imagine Jason battling enemies on all sides, from both the law and the criminal world of Vice City. Fans point to a police raid seen from the trailer as potential evidence of Jason's double life. If Rockstar's tradition of traitors holds, Jason's fate looks grim. Could he die in a blaze of glory, fighting for his love and life? Stay tuned for more GTA 6 news and leaks. Subscribe if you want me to give away multiple GTA 6 copies on the release date. Thank you and let's go. So here we are, starting off with just an example of how social media can look in the GTA 6. And here we could basically see Lucia Lopez, friends, media, stalking, and it's not just technology, it's your life. And here we could see the mentions and messages. I can't believe it's almost been a month since you moved to Vice City. Excited to see you here at my club. By Luis Lopez. Also, who are these scary looking guys on your page? I hope you haven't been hanging with that Jason guy again. He has only brought problems into your life. Miss you too, Luis. You will see my sooner than you think. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. See you soon. And Karen, 6 months ago, well, look who is back. Next up, we go for, do you think that GTA 6 will bring back the dating features? Y'all remember the dating option from GTA 4? Well, I didn't return in 5, but do you think they will bring it back as a feature for 6? Unpopular opinion, I think, but I think they're still going to have hookers and hookups, booty calls. Yes, the protagonists are going to be a couple, but since Michael was able to use prostitutes and booty calls in 5, I don't see why it shouldn't carry over, even if his marriage wasn't the best or really incorporated in a story too much. All I'm gonna say, I feel like with this story, it's 100% already should be confirmed. Realistic additions to GTA 6. Just some story online ideas that Rockstar could realistically implement. Run animations. In previous online titles, you could change your walking animation for a little variety. However, Rockstar could take this a step further and add running animations to choose from as well, since that's what players will be doing most of the time. Good way to make your character feel more like you. Run button. This has been brought up before, but the tap AX to run gimmicks needs to die. Bend it to one of the bumpers like how The Last of Us does it. Horses. This has also been brought up as well, but the Red Dead Redemption 2 assets are still there. Rockstar could easily reuse them and it wouldn't really cost them anything. Secondary Island. Speaking of Red Dead Redemption 2, the original plans for Chapter 5 was to have Guarma be a fully explorable map and be much longer, but would cut probably due to the hardware limitations of the last-gen consoles. However, glitching out of bonds shows that the entire island is actually still there, albeit with shitty textures. It's very likely that Guarma assets may have be reused here, and not to mention the fact that Guarma is a Cuban island according to lore, so it would make sense to include it. Drunk Walk. GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption 1's Drunk Walk put you in a ragdoll state and was hilarious to mess around with. They should seriously bring it back. On the horse's note, I think the mechanics for driving should be the same as the horse's mechanics. Why should our aiming and shooting have to change just because we're in a car? Also, I think we need all the minigames from past Rockstar games added to GTA 6. Why keep taking away from what's coming next? It should be just as easy to add on instead of take away, and make something new. Referring to darts, bowling, pool, liar's dice, arm wrestling, horseshoes, all of these should have remained in GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and I hope to see them in GTA 6. New games should even include beer pong, cornhole, paintballs, airsoft, real hunting, volleyball, baseball, etc. And I basically want it to be like AC Valhalla in the sense that there is so much to do. You'll have a lot to do before, during, and after a story is basically complete. If our character falls a great distance, gets hit by a vehicle or any sort of great injury like this, they shouldn't be able to get up like nothing really happened. What I mean is, other than taking damage to your health, the character needs to limp for a few seconds or something along those lines. Slow them down after being stunned. I initially thought a broken bone or arm, but that wouldn't make sense for your character to recoup from that. A limp can last 10-15 seconds and reduce your speed by half. There can be different sort of injury animations depending on how you get hurt. Fall on your side, you hold your hip. Get hit in the right arm with a weapon, you hold it with your left, preventing you from attacking for 5 seconds. If they add more character animations, definitely will make it feel more immersive but challenging at the same time. Not too much, otherwise it can be a real overkill. Next up, so I made a post before about aircrafts the other day. What kind of armored combat vehicle would you like to see? Personally, since the map is based in Florida, we had the hint of the T-34 in Junkyard in 5, would love to see a Puma, Tiger, and a Merkava as well. Pistol list, I basically gonna leave it for the next video tomorrow, so don't forget to check it out tomorrow if you wanna see. If the Grand Theft Auto 6's Jason rumor proves true, he is already standing at death's door. Speculation around the GT6 story focuses on Jason possibly being an undercover cop, adding the potential for a betrayal and conflict. The game's emphasis on trust could lead to a dramatic climax where Jason and Lucia are forced to confront their true loyalties. Jason's identity as a cop could result in a dangerous situation where he battles enemies from both law enforcement and a criminal world, making it unlikely that he makes it out of the game alive. As expected, rumors and speculation have run rampant around the Grand Theft Auto 6 since its reveals trailers late last year. One of the most popular story theories centers on one of the GT6 main characters and how he may play a conniving, misleading role in the game. Fans have guessed that Lucia's boyfriend, presumed to be named Jason, will fill the role of an undercover cop. There's not much in the way of concrete information supporting this notion, with the strongest piece of evidence being a short clip from GT6 trailer. This clip shows a police raid from the perspective of one of the officer's body cameras. And since Jason and Lucia are expected to provide the only perspectives in the game, some have speculated that this footage is coming from Jason's body camera. There's also the game's ostensible emphasizes on trust, and if trust is prominent in the game, it's safe to assume it will be tested in some way. It's also worth noting that Rockstar seems to have a tradition of including traitors, turncoats, and liars in its stories, with notable examples being Michael in GTA 5, Michelle Karin in GTA 4, Micah in Red Dead Redemption 2, John in Red Dead Redemption, Big Smoke and Ryder in GTA San Andreas, Lance in GTA Vice City. GTA 6 probably won't end well for Jason if he really is a cop. Jason could have an opponent on all sides. Assuming Jason is truly a clandestine cop, then his relationship with Lucia will undoubtedly suffer by the end of the GTA 6. Lucia's exact role within the Vice City sphere of criminality is a bit unclear, but it's obvious that her jail time has done little to reform her, instead slingshotting her back into a life of crime. Lucia is still deeply entrenched in a legal activity, not likely to be swayed by Jason's potential influence, be it direct or subtle. Players are sure to come across a number of criminal compatriots throughout the GT6 story, who are likely to take umbrage with Jason's theorized secret identity as well. Even if Lucia manages to forgive him, there is no guarantee that these third parties will. Jason could very well wind up fighting a battle on multiple fronts, and change of heart or a switch in allegiance probably wouldn't help him much, as the trust would have already been broken. On top of this, if Jason goes the rock cop route, then he will be wanted by the police, potentially leaving him without many allies on either side of the fence. Jason's cop identity could spell an explosive ending for GTA 6, and if GTA 6 continues the series' narrative tradition of betrayal and police sympathizers informants, the conflict of Jason's true allegiance will likely play a major role in the climax. Like with GTA 5's Death Wish ending, players could see Jason and Lucia facing off against the world in GTA 6's final act, choosing to stick together against the horde of enemies from both law enforcement and the criminal world of Vice City. This sort of ending would be in line with GT6's apparent theme of trust, as the couple would have to put the ultimate trust in another and setting aside previous dishonesty and deceit. And of course, this is all the speculation based on fairly tenuous theory, but it is interesting to think about how Rockstar will handle this specific dual protagonist structure, as while GT5 features multiple protagonists, none of them are as emotionally connected as a romantic couple would be. Given the GT6 unique narrative premise, things between Jason and Lucia are bound to get messy, and a classic undercover cop plot wouldn't be the worst way to crank up conflict between the two. But ultimately, fans will have to wait for more information about the GT6 before assuming that the story will go in any particular direction. So that's kind of all the information we got for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one, and peace.